Hello guys, welcome back. So in the last video tutorial, we were able to do this error handling in simple error handling inside our add food method here. Okay. So before I continue, please I want you to subscribe to the channel. Okay, if you've not done that, okay, and also click on the notification bell or when you subscribe, and then also like the video if you really enjoy these videos. Okay, and because that's how you encourage me to record videos. Okay, maintaining the channel comes with a lot of cost. Okay, in terms of internet bundle and um, internet bundle. Okay, so just encourage me by subscribing and then liking the videos. Okay, and that will help a lot. So what I want to do in this video is simple. I just want to make sure I change certain things here. Okay, you realize that when we created the add food method, we pushed the thing to Firebase. Okay, and then we created this food object. Okay, which will give us the a new food item. But then we forgot to push it to this foods. Okay, we forgot to do that, and when we did that, we we were rather using the fetch food. That's okay. Okay, so you add and then you try to fetch again, but then we can decide to push it to the foods item. Okay, so like after doing this we can just go ahead and foods and then add, since it's a list. Okay, we can just use the add method on the list and then add the food with id. Okay, so we add this one to the list right after adding it to Firebase. Okay, and then we can choose to ignore this one. So I think that will work fine. Okay, so that one is solved. And then when you come here, we have this fetch foods. Okay, we've not done the error handling on this one, so I want to do just that. We do the error handling on this one, and then we add certain things, and then we can see what we can do next. Okay, so let's quickly do that. So to do this, we can just go ahead, copy this code. Yeah, I'm sorry, let me just come back again. I want to make sure I'm copying the right things here. um Okay, you know what I'm doing here? I'm using the then here, so I'll copy the code inside here first. Okay, so that I can ignore this one because I don't want to use the dot then. I want to use the await. Yeah, and then I can use the async here, and then with the async here, I can await on this. So we can final HTTP. You want to receive the response, final HTTP that response. Okay, because this, and then we await. I don't know why I'm getting the error. Response, the final variable must be initialized. How is that giving me an error? Oh, see, I didn't give it a name. Sorry. Anyway, I'm not feeling well, so I just want to make this quick, and then we can go on and do this. Okay, this. um so we have this, we take this one, we do this, we do this response body. Okay, so I think that's okay. So now we can also go ahead and then put it in our try catch. Okay, so the try catch is used on exceptions. Okay, and last time I spoke about it, so in case you don't understand, mm, I'll just go over it again. So this is what we did. So the try catch will help catch any exception. For example, if the internet, I was explaining that if the internet should go off, I mean your phone internet should go off, and then you try without a try catch, you try to run this code, then you are going to get an error because this will try to make connection, okay, to HTTP connection, but we are going to get an error because of the internet. So this will throw an exception, So we try to use the try to try this code, okay, and then if anything goes wrong with this code, then we are going to catch that error here, okay, and then that error we can do anything with that error, but then we can also write anything inside the error, I mean the catch block. So it's like if this fails, then what do you want to do? Okay, so that's what we did last time here. So I'm just going to repeat the same thing so that we can use a refresh indicator here. Okay. So I'm just going to do the is loading when we start fetching our food. So it's loading to true. True here, and then we can notify the listeners. Okay, so last time I also explained this notify listeners is just the same, like just think in terms of set state. Okay, so it will rebuild when this notify listener is called. Okay, and we after loading everything here, we can also is loading to force. Okay, and then we can also this one. So let me just copy this code here. Okay. And if we've forgotten about one thing, so I also want to change this to a future of boolean, because I want to know whether it was successful or not successful. So if I do this, then I can return a value here. So I think if this code should run successfully, then I can say everything worked. Okay, so I can return future of true dot value dot true. You can just return true just like this, okay, true, and it will work fine, but I just prefer you doing that way. So with that one, I also, if there's an error, then I mean it was unsuccessful, so I can return future dot value dot false here. Okay, so with this one, I can save it here. uh, um I think that is okay. So now I'll go into my explore um page there, okay, which is the favorite page. I've not changed the file name yet, because I will have to take time to change it everywhere that the file is. So that's why I'm just keeping it, but just keep in mind that the favorite page is now the explore page. Okay, so now when we come here, what I want to do is this list view here, i I want to wrap this list view with a refresh indicator. Okay, so let's see. I want to wrap it with a refresh indicator. I think, yep. And then with this one, so when you pull this one down, then something should happen. So this one has the on refresh. So on refresh, what do you want to do? We want to call the method, and since we already have this whole body surrounded with the scope model, okay, on refresh we can use the model here, and then we call the model dot fetch. Okay, so model dot fetch here, fetch foods, and then we can do it this way. You don't have to so the difference between this, okay, when you call a method and then you call it with the parentheses, and then with this one, the difference is when you have it this way, then it means that this method should execute immediately when the app runs. But then we don't want to execute the method immediately, but we want to wait. Okay, we want to only execute the method when we pull down the list view. Okay, so we have this one, and then we can save. Let's see. So when I pull this one down, now it should work. Okay, so we have our app already real time, to be real time. So I think that thing was not really important. Let me explain something to you here. Let me just yeah. So when I come here, okay, um and then open this one here, and then maybe I think here's something. Okay, just I'm trying to change the value here. Why am I not able to change? Anyway, let me change from here. So I can just go ahead and write um something descriptive here. You see it quickly changes. Okay, the reason why this changes, you don't have to even pull refresh to see the change. Okay, the reason is, you see this model.fetch foods here. Okay, this model.fetch foods here is having, let's go into the food model. Okay, it's having this here's it. Okay, this code is having the notify listeners. After fetching, it notifies the listeners. So this code here is working in terms of, let's say, the set state. Okay, and then it will rebuild the page, I mean the whole page. Okay, so when we come here, because I found out something, when you come into, where's the favorite page here, so this, as this method will be called. Okay, and then it will rebuild the page, I mean it will rebuild this build method, and when it does, this build method will also rebuild, and then this model, the fetch, will rebuild again. So it's like it's an infinite loop. It doesn't stop, it doesn't end. So it's like it's in a constant loop. It's always trying to fetch. So this will fetch. Okay, and let's say notify listeners. Okay, let's notify the listeners method will be called. When this is called, it will rebuild the whole page again. Okay, this build method will be called again. When this build method is called again, okay, because this model of fetch is inside the build method, it will rebuild it will fetch again and then call the notify listeners again, and then the notify listeners will cause this build method to rebuild again, and then the loop continues. So it will never end. Okay, it will never end. So in case you want to break out of that loop, okay, you can do one thing. You can decide to use any state here. Okay, when you use any states here, then you can choose to pass this method here, model.foods, okay, to this page, and then you use it. Let me show you what I'm trying to explain. Okay, so what do we even call this page? We call it from the main screen. Okay, which is the main, yeah, we call it from this place. Okay, so we have the model of, you see we have the fetch foods here. Okay, we can decide to pass this one down here to the favorite page. Let's say model here. Okay, I want to pass the model, just the model. So widget dot model here. Okay, when I pass it here now, we can come here and then get it here. Final main model. Okay, model, and then we can accept it favorite here. This dot model. So when we do it this way, you see the error is gone here. So now we are passing this model here, and then when we come here, we can now decide to use that model here. Okay, so widget dot model dot fetch foods here. Okay, when we fetch the foods here, let me just ignore this line. Okay, let me just clean this line. I want to just show you something. So now inside what is it, the favorite page here, which is this page, this current page. Okay, so inside this page, now I've been able to pass the model here, and then I'm using it to fetch foods here. So now I'm just going to ignore this line again. I'm going to ignore this line. So now I don't need to use the model that fetch foods here. So now I go here, just forget about this, or we'll fix it later, and then come here. Let me just rebuild the whole thing for you to see. It's because we trying to get something. Let's try and build the whole thing again. You come back here. Okay, so you see we have this, okay, and it worked. But now let's go back to here, and then let's try to change something descriptive, and let's see how it goes. Okay, I have okay, let's change this to anything. You see, we are not seeing the change. So it is not because Firebase is it's not because the Firebase is real time. Okay, the reason why we we were able to do this to make it work is because it was in a constant loop. Okay, it was in a constant for loop, or somehow it was just looping and looping. Okay, so even if you have a database which is not real time, this then would have worked, because as I said before, this method was inside here, which was it was this way. This method will be called, okay, and then this method is having the food model is having a notifier listener here. So after fetching, the final thing it does it is to call this notifier listeners, okay, and then when it's done calling the notifier listeners, this notifier listener will cause this method to rebuild, because it's acting like the set state, so it will rebuild the whole page. But after rebuilding the whole page, this method is still inside the build method here, so it will also execute, and then call the notify the listeners method, which will cause this one to build again, and then it will come back here to do the same thing. So it is in a constant loop. So one problem with this is when you have uh, when you have a lot of data on your on your Firebase, it can make your app slow. So you have to be very careful with how you do this. But for now, I'm just going to leave it that way. Okay, so I'm just going to ignore this. Okay, so even if you have um your own API, you can still use this approach and it will work. But mind you, if you have a lot of data in your database, and then you are rebuilding this thing over and over again, it will cause a lot of it will cause some problems. I won't say a lot of problems, it will cause some problems. It will drain your battery, okay, because it is always running infinitely, it's running, okay, and you have to be mindful of how you rebuild your widgets, okay. So for now, I'm just going to leave it this way, and I'm just gonna do something. Yeah, I have to remove this one, this code. I don't need it again for now, because I don't want to be passing things around. So go into the main screen and then ignore this and then save. Yep. So we have this, and then now we have the anything. You see, it changes the moment I set send it back to how it was before. It just change it. Just change. Let me see another. It changes. So this thing is always fetching, pointing to this endpoint. So it will keep on fetching. So this is what I wanted to explain to you. And you have to be, like I said before, you have to be careful of how you rebuild your app. You have to know that this widget, this whole skillful widget, is rebuilding anytime the model of food fetch food is called. Okay. So for now, I will leave this. Like I said before, I'm not feeling well. I will leave it this way for now, because we worked on the fetch foods. Okay, fetch food. That's okay. We did the error handling here too. We been able to put the um this one here. Oh, okay. Yeah, for you to see how the let me just go back. For you to see how the let me just go back. Favorite page. Sorry, I just forgot about it. Okay, so for you to see if this thing actually the refresh indicator works. So let's try something. Let's say something. Oh, sorry, this method is still there. So this one, save it, and then let's change it back to another. So it doesn't change, but then when I pull refresh, it should change. Okay, so the refresh indicator is also working. So basically we didn't do much. We just did the refresh indicator, worked on the other part. So I think that's okay. So refresh indicator, auto refresh. So like I said, you should know what you are building because this will rebuild and rebuild and rebuild. But I will just use it for now. I will show you the better way later. Okay. So thank you guys. Please like the video, subscribe, and then share. Thank you.